Okay, so we're going to talk about, let me share my screen. Come on, little machine. I have to talk it into doing what I want. Right.
Glad I'm not the only one.
Desktop 3. So hopefully now you can see my screen. I don't know why it puts that in the middle of everything. It's just quite annoying. Okay, so I love the way Sean comes up with all these names and then just hands it over to me. I thought, how do I make widgets wondrous? Do you know anything about WordPress at all, Helen?
Not a great deal. I mean, I've heard snippets, but I've never really used it, so I wouldn't know how to put it all together unless you were sitting beside me.
That's okay. So just to give you a quick sort of overview as an analogy, I always liken WordPress to a frame tent. So we have the main WordPress files, which is the frame of the tent. And then you have what are called themes, which essentially is the canvas, i.e. what everybody sees, how it's where the doors are, where the windows are. And then we have other little bits of software called plugins, which allow you to do additional bits and pieces. So I suppose one of the ways it would be to put a tunnel on the side or something like that, an entrance porch, or just to keep the analogy rolling. Now, I've got to remember if I'm on the right screen or not here. So widgets are, and you'll get a copy of these slides, so don't worry about it. It'll be turned into a PDF and you can have it. So basically, it meant they were originally there as a way to give people to move bits and pieces around to adjust the look of their website in certain areas without actually having to know any code whatsoever.
Right.
Okay. So, as I've said at the bottom there, they come as part of the WordPress core, some widgets. Your theme may add additional widgets and, more importantly, add additional areas to put widgets in. And some plugins, so like, for example, Contact Us forms, may actually have widgets as well so that you can use the forms in the widgets rather than on the main pages. Okay. So mainly widgets are in set areas. Okay, so you can go into your WordPress back end into your dashboard, and you can go to the widget section and you can say, I want to put that widget in that area, because that's the way it's defined. Okay, but as I said earlier, some themes allow you to actually have additional areas, and I'll quickly show you a few in a minute. So you, in your widgets area, in your dashboard, and Helen, you'll see a dashboard in a minute when we go and have a quick look. It actually has an area, as it shows there, called Appearance, and you can go to the widgets. And when you get there, you'll see the screen like this that says, here's your available widgets. And on the right-hand side, it says Footer. So that's where you can place these widgets that are available to you. Okay? Nice and simple, drag and drop, do what you want. Now you can have these in a sidebar. So essentially you've got a web page and you have your main content, and then just to the edge, sidebar, main content, sidebar. So you can put them there. So you quite often see people have sign up for our newsletter, things like that down the side.
Yeah.
You can put them in the footer. So this is a good place to put your business details, because a footer appears on every page. Okay, so it's a good way to having like a click for people to contact you, whether it's a phone call or an email. Okay, because it's on every page. It's your address. It's on every page. Okay, make it as easy as possible for people to get to that information. In some, you can have them in the header, so at the top of the page, and in some, you can actually include them within the menu structure. So it could be homepage, about us, contact us, and then a widget that gets them to do something else. Okay. So you have, as I said, your widget areas, and this is a screenshot I've taken of one. And I mean, you can see it says footer widget area 1. Okay, and if you drag a widget into that space and then go and look at the front of the website, you'll quickly discern where it is. But essentially, if you've got the footer bar working left to right on your screen, footer 1, footer 2, however many you can have. And some themes allow you to say how many footer areas you want as well. Okay, we've got the main sidebar, which speaks for itself in this one. We've got header, we've got WooCommerce. So if you're using the WooCommerce e-commerce plugin, you can set widgets in different areas and all sorts. And then, as I said, you have on the other side, you have the available widgets, and that's just to give you an idea there. So we've got a form, we can put an audio in. Oh, what else have we got on here? More forms, images, a gallery. You can even put in a gallery. So essentially, your widget areas are on your WordPress pages, because we've talked about the sidebar. WooCommerce pages, so that is for single items, for your cart pages, your checkout pages. You can normally set them to go there as well. And Richard, you've got WooCommerce, haven't you?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
not done anything with it though.
Oh, okay. So some of the things you can do with WooCommerce is, and you've probably seen these on e-commerce sites that you visited. So Amazon's a prime example, but they don't use widgets in this respect. You go and have a look at something. So let's just say you're going to have a look at DVDs, and you select a director or an actor, and you go and see what they've got, and you click on one, and then you go, no, I don't fancy that one, I'll click on another one. And if you look, you'll see your recent views will appear in a bar. Yeah, and there's a lot of websites that'll do that for you. And they may also give you things that are related. So if you looked at a DVD, it may show you a DVD player, for example. Okay, so that's the sort of thing that widgets can give you where WooCommerce is concerned. Okay, so if you allow people to leave reviews on your WooCommerce store, it could be that you'll put up the reviews for products that will come up on the individual product pages. Okay, so just give you some idea of how widgets can help you with your website. And then your theme may have widget areas, and we've already quickly looked at that, which is in the header, etc. Just so that you can get, and I'll show you in a minute one of the things that I used a widget for in that respect. So this is a WordPress page. As I said before, you've got your content is normally sort of around about 3/4 of the page. And then in the sidebar, you've got some widgets. So these two widgets, in fact, if I go back up, no, I thought I'd shown you how. Okay, so these two forms are in widgets. Okay, so this is for people to sign up. So there's two widgets, one on top of each other, that appear in the sidebar. And they appear logically like that in the widget area. So if you label them correctly, you'll quickly see where they are. But you can just drag and drop them around, so you can swap the forms around to have different bits at different levels, depending on what you want people to do and how they are already interacting with what you've got up there. So it's a great way to test things. So like with this, there's two forms, and obviously they appear slightly further down the page, and you can't see the header because I've already scrolled down. So on a first page load, this form here probably wouldn't show. So you could test it for a month, look at your analytics and swap it around, for example. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I'll show you a way that you could test it even further in a bit. So here's your WooCommerce page. So this is your shopping cart somebody's looking at. And so people can search for the products at the top, and then you've got your top rated. So those are two widgets I quickly put in just to show you how you can use it to entice people and give people more information to actually help them. So you're not just enticing them to go on and shop, but you're helping them to make the decisions that's right for them as well. Yeah, so it works for both you and for the client.
Okay.
Yeah, so we mentioned themes have widget areas. So this is in the customization of the theme. And there's an area there for widgets, which if I follow it through, then here's all the widgets that I can put into the theme and where I can place them. In this instance, I said, let's put something above the header. So it's first widget above the header. I then selected a widget to use. As you can see, here's all my available widgets down this side. And I decided I'd put in a click for people to email. Okay, so a button where people can click to email us. So I'm using HTML in this case. And then it pops up. So I can see it as I'm doing it. I can get a preview of what I'm doing. So I've said email us and send it to that email address. And you can see where it's popped up above the header of the website as you're doing it.
Yeah.
So that was just, it's always a good idea to have people, as I say, to contact you, top, bottom of the page if you can, make it simple for them. This is another bit of a, well, this is more of a plugin than a theme. So this is a website builder plugin. And I've gone into the modules for the plugin, and I've just done a search for widgets, and all of these widgets have popped up. So I can place these within areas of the page by using the plugin. Okay, so I don't have to use a sidebar. I don't have to be constrained to either the header or the footer. I can move them about on the page now as well. So in this instance, I put a calendar widget in on the main page. Okay, this calendar is actually showing posts. So when was post published? Okay, so, but it was just a quick thing to show you how I could do it. And I'll show you on the website in a minute. Okay, so you can also get a plugin that will allow you to create additional widget areas within your website. Okay, so if you aren't using a page builder like I was, but you wanted to put different widgets on different pages, so you could create a sidebar called Sidebar 1 and a sidebar called Sidebar 2, and where we were looking at those forms earlier, you could have them different ways up and you could try them on different pages so that people would see a different sidebar, if that makes sense. So they would see the widgets and things in a different order, and you'd find out then which way people interact with your website a little bit better, perhaps. Yeah, it's just a way of quickly split testing what you're putting up and the offers that you're making. And then I've put up a link there. So this is essentially in WordPress. I did a quick search for widgets because they're not that obvious. So you get a limited amount normally come with WordPress. There's a few possibly will come with your theme, but you may want extra ones. So you possibly can't see that, but there's things for social links and things like that in there. So again, you may want to put that in your footer easily. Opening hours is another good one for if you're a store. Watch your store opening hours. You can get a widget for that and put it in the footer. And it will then be able to do things like actually show people the time. So the time now, and are you open? Things like that. Yeah. So Helen, what is your business?
It's mindfulness for children. I offer a service rather than a product.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So your customers are parents?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Okay. Well, that was all I put together on the slides for you, because it's always easier to look at it in real life. But as I said, I'll make that into a PDF and it will go up on the website, and also the video will go up there for you guys to come back and watch again if you so desire. So,
Well, thank you,
Richard, you may be quite au fait with this view. Helen, you probably haven't seen it, but this is your WordPress dashboard, which allows you as the administrator of the website to actually, as it says, administer the website. So we quickly looked at where widgets were, and if I can just refresh my page, actually, it's probably going to be the easier way to do it. And you can see there's this is our navigation down the side, which allows us to go and do all sorts of different bits and pieces. And a lot of these actually have, as you can see, more than one level.
Yes.
So as I said, appearance and widget. So here we are in our widgets canvas, for want of a better description. And we have here, these are the widgets that are available to us at the top, as it says. And we also have inactive widgets. So this is widgets that we've used and decided we don't want to use anymore.
Right.
Okay. So essentially, if we look at what we've got here, I've got 3 widgets in this sidebar. Okay. And they all have this areas where you can go through and say, done, I've saved it, or delete it. Or you can just say, I don't want to use it anymore. So I'm going to take that off and put it down there into my inactive widgets. So anything where you get that little black cross comes up is something you can just drag around.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I could say, actually, I want to put that one in instead. So quite literally, you can start, as I said at the beginning, they were that way for you to actually change the look of your website without knowing any coding, because you literally just drag and drop them around. Oh, excuse me. And you've got a bit of control here as well, because if you look here, this says what space you want between these items. Okay, so what I always suggest to people is, if you come up to here and it comes up and says visit your site, if you right click there and open it in a new tab, you can see what your website looks like. So when you do something, you can just do a refresh of this page and see what the changes are that you've made. Yeah. I don't really want any of that, so I better put the other one back. Oh, no, not that one. Forgotten what I was using. Okay, so in this instance, we also have WooCommerce. So we have our WooCommerce sidebar. And if you remember rightly, when I showed you the slides, you could see there was a search for products, and there enough, it says product search. We had the ratings, and there it is, and the recently viewed products. Okay, and I can literally just change them around, and that changes. It also will automatically save, and that changes how I can now view it on the front quite quickly. Yeah.
Yep.
If you blog, for instance, so if you write a blog post once a week, once a fortnight, whatever it is, you may want to have a separate sidebar just for your blog. And then you can see here, it's got things like recent posts, recent comments. So if you allow people to comment on your blog, you can show it in the sidebars so that people can see what the conversation is going on around whatever you've written. All sorts of bits and pieces you can put up there. So it's a great way for you to actually make life easier for your visitors to do what you want them to do. As I said, sign up for newsletters. Quite often you can get, if you've got something like Aweber or something like that as a newsletter, an email provider, they will give you custom HTML code that you can put in to put your forms into the website quite often. And so you'll just need to put a custom HTML widget in, and then they will give you the code to copy and paste in there. Okay, so you create the nice little form, looks good actually on Aweber, you copy the code and you just paste it in there.
Wow.
All nice and easy for you. So we use, as I said, we use a page builder to build up our pages. and ours is called Beaver Builder. So this is this allows you, again, this is making it easy for people that don't do coding to actually tidy things up, make it look as they want. So we actually now, as you can see, as I move over the different elements on the page, you can see that I've got opportunities to move it around, so I can change its location on the page. I can go in and actually edit the text. I can do it all from here and then see exactly what it looks like. But what I can also do is add widgets. So I can do a search as I did before and say, I want to put in a widget. What did we have before? Products, wasn't it? Something to do with products. That's fine. Okay, so we can filter our products and I can just drag that onto the page. I haven't really got any products, I don't think so. So it's going to make life quite difficult because it's only, I've only put WooCommerce in as a test, so it's probably not going to show us anything. No, it's not going to, because I haven't actually got anything in it. Let's try again. Let's pick a different one. I'm trying to think something that I've actually got something in.
You put your calendar in, did you?
Yeah, I used a calendar before. Okay, let's try that one. Yeah, why not? Oh, excuse me, itchy nose now. We don't need the title, and you can see it's put it in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I'm able to put this into the main body of the page rather than just into a narrow sidebar. So, if I quickly just show you, that's a right sidebar. So normally, on most, it would appear like that. Okay, and then your text would be here. But even now, because this is a page builder, I can actually adjust those two columns quite quickly and quite easily to achieve what we want. In fact, I better just discard that, otherwise I'll have broken the website.
Oh gosh.
And that's not where we want to be.
Certainly not.
Okay, so does anybody have any questions about widgets and any thoughts about where you might use them? Richard's gone very quiet.
Nope.
I was hoping for you, Richard, to start as soon as you're more familiar with it.
Sadly, I do use widgets, but not fantastic the amount. Sometimes I've put mainly contact forms or on like sidebars or extra things in footers, but
yeah. So that,
really
I mean,
that much.
From that respect, so if we go, so as I say, your widget areas. Come on, catch up with me. Oh, we've been having all sorts of problems with the website, with the internet today. So this is all done in widgets. Okay, which means that as you go through to each different page, I picked a bad one there because that's not onto a traditional page. Scroll that. So there again. So I said for putting in contact details, it's really a good idea. Or your social links, for example. So if you want people to connect with you socially, it's always another good one to put in there. Also remember that as a business in the UK, you need to include your business details, on your website. So where do you trade from? Okay, now it doesn't need to be your home address even if you're a sole trader. So you can get your accountants normally will allow you to use their office as a registered address, or you can get virtual offices which you can use. It's always a good idea, especially if you're expecting a lot of post, for example, if people are going to actually send post to you. If you don't want it all coming through your letterbox, you can get that sent to a virtual office, and then you just go and collect it once a week or whatever you want. But you can normally, if you look at the terms and conditions, you can use that virtual office as your registered office as well.
Right.
Now, if I accept the cookies, yeah, so here we've got details again in the footer. So this is another area which is below the footer where you can put in information. So here's the social links and bits and pieces. Yeah, I'm trying to think of any other areas where you might want to use widgets. I've shown you, so this is a widget area here, and that's another one up above the header. For some of them, the search here might be on the end of the menu, could be a widget area. So if you look at your theme, if you have a thing that says, so either it'll say it at the front here or it'll be in your dashboard. Come on. Go on, must feed the hamster. So there you can customize your theme there. And it may be that you can use your widgets in your menu, for example. So in this instance, last item in the menu, it can be a widget. Okay. Bear in mind, like all these things, before you just publish willy-nilly, the impact it's going to have in where you're placing it. Okay, so something like a contact form, quite a big chunky contact form, is going to look really out of place up here, up above the menu. Or that calendar that we were looking at, you don't really want it tacked onto the end of your navigation here, because it's just going to ruin the look of the site, and it will probably leave people feeling a bit confused. But it could be that you have, so as I did before, where I set up to go up there, just the email us, just the words email us, nice and easy. People can just click on it and send an email. So you might want to have that there. So your contact could just be for people to send you an email. Well, I'm not sure that was that wondrous, to be honest.
Oh, I don't know.
I said Sean sets me up for these things. And
I think it's pretty good.
But as I say, you can see how for yourselves, you can quite quickly achieve a different look for your website in certain aspects without actually needing to think, how do I put these pixels in? How do I change colors? You can just literally drag and drop them around to achieve what you want. I can't remember, did we have images on our widgets? I can't even, oh, I know where we've got one. So yeah, like all things. So yeah, you could put in an image. So let's just do that for the sake of it. And it's literally just add an image, and you can either upload one or you can use one from your media library. So if I save that, nope, don't want to be there. I can't remember if we've got anything up actually on. So yeah, I've just put in an image. There's those two forms. There's our booking in a no, I haven't used the sidebar there, so sorry about that, folks. I've just led you astray. But you can see how easy it is to do for all that, and you can link it to somewhere. Yeah. So Richard, for example, you could put up images of products and link it to the actual product. It's one of those things you need to think about it contextually, because if you if your product, you get a limited quantity, and once they're gone, this is going to cause you an awful lot of administration.
Yeah.
Yeah. So bear that in mind whenever you're trying to do something, because there's nothing worse, as I'm sure you yourselves are aware as a website visitor, than going somewhere and clicking on something and it doesn't work for whatever reason. Yeah. So that's something to bear in mind if you're going to start putting links to things anywhere. Is it going to work all the time? So if it's going to be a link to your contact us form and you're going to put up a picture of an envelope with the @ symbol on, which is sort of everybody knows as an email, and then it's going to take them through to the contact us page, that sort of thing is going to be fairly constant. So you don't need to worry about it. Yeah, but as I said, Richard, with products, if it's things that go out of stock quite quickly and then you can't get new stock for 6 months, or you're only going to get 10 of them, and when they're gone, it's going to create more administration possibly than it's worth. I mean, I don't know if your items are worth 20 grand each, perhaps it isn't, but
it'd be nice.
Yeah. if you sort of keep that in your thinking as you're planning this, and that's the other thing that we always recommend, is that you start with well, as we say, paper and crayons, and draw out what you think it's going to be and how it's going to work and what's going to link to where, and then think of it from the customer's point of view, and then say, is it worth doing it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, I can't think of anything else to tell you about widgets now.
No, it's
the thing is, for Richard, is to go and explore, because as I say, certainly if you start looking at products and things like that, you can put in filters, so you can filter your products by price or by size, things like that, which is always useful for the customer, so that yeah, they can just go and search for things that are black, or things for under £10, or whatever. Yeah, that's always useful.
Yeah, to be honest, my the business website's just stayed exactly as it is. It's not operational or anything. Just we've not had time to really get and do anything. So
sorry, that was my dog. It wasn't me.
Well, now's the time to do it. You've got all the bits and pieces you need.
Yeah.
Because essentially, if I know it sounds quite sort of odd to say this, but if your website answers the searcher's problem, then it's a good website. Okay. If it answers the searcher's problem and it looks good as well, then it's a great website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have got another website I'm starting, but it's just not. I've not had the time to dedicate to it really. Being Q4, it's just absolutely manic at the moment.
But in a good way.
It is. I've got 9 boxes of that weighing 15 kilograms each, sat in my door in my hallway, ready for UPS, who decided today, oh, we can't pick them up. So tomorrow they're sending a very big van, because we're going to have probably about another 11 on top of that.
Oh, wow.
So it just shows you the volume at the moment. So
yeah. And where are people buying this from?
From Amazon.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because we sell on Amazon.
Yeah.
My hypnotherapy I've stopped doing at the moment because one's time, and 2 is the plague, for want of a better name.
Yeah, for want of anything else to call it. Yeah.